Hey everyone, welcome back to the workshop. Artisan Pirate here, and in today's Fun Scroll Saw project video, we're going to start with Christmas designs for 2023. And what better project to begin the Christmas season with than a little project representing the actual meaning of Christmas, and that is the birth of Jesus Christ. I've already got the pattern selected, photocopied, and attached to our material with clear packing tape, and the design in question comes from a very old issue of Scroll Saw Woodworking and Crafts magazine. This is Holiday 2005, issue 21, and I've had this magazine ever since it came out. And unfortunately it's got some water damage from when I was not scrolling and it was stored away, but I've got it back out, and the design in question we're going to be doing represents the true meaning of the season, as I said, and it's depicted on page 52. It's called The Little Saint 3D Nativity. Different woods add dimension to this holiday classic scene by Dick Smith, and there you see it there. All of this uses 1/4 inch material, and when I got back into scrolling in 2013, that Christmas season, I made a bunch of these, but I just made them out of the standard 1/4 inch material I picked up, and I stained them all one uniform color. And I really wanted to come back and do this project justice, just for a throwback, and to also make it out of some nice exotic hardwoods and softwoods like it's depicted here. And that's what I have laid out here on the table saw in front of me. All the patterns are photocopied and attached to the material with clear packing tape already. And one thing to note is I had lost the pattern pullout section for this just from years of having it and having it stored away and everything. I'm sure it's on the property somewhere, I just haven't located it. And I only had this portion of the pattern here, and I did photocopy that, as I said, but that is why I love these archival CDs that Fox Chapel Publishing offers of previous issues. I was able to quickly load this into the computer and pick out the rest of the patterns and print them out and get those copied as well. And as I said, everything is attached to our material here. It's all stuff I have milled down to 1/4 inch thickness, and I could not have got all this material milled down without my new Rikon table saw. It is phenomenal, and it is very, very accurate. I got everything ripped down here. We're going to have some walnut, some ambrosia maple, some yellow pine, some mahogany, more walnut, oak, and there is some blue pine at the front. But I milled everything down on this table saw, and I want to once again thank Rikon and Klingspor's Woodworking Shop for supporting me and hooking me up with this amazing machine. There you see some of the leftovers from where I was ripping all the stuff down. But since everything is prepared, let's move over and drill all the pilot holes so we can come back to the scroll saw and get the Christmas season started here on the channel. And over here at the drill press, we're going to begin by drilling out all of the pilot holes for internal cutting. I haven't used the drill press in a while to drill pilot holes on video, and I wanted to use it again. But after all of the pilot holes are drilled, we can head over to the scroll saw and begin scrolling. And keep in mind, I am stack cutting here, so I'm going to be making 2 of the same project and finishing 1 in the video. I am using a number 5 Ultra reverse tooth blade for all of the scrolling on this project, and it's cutting through all the different species of material exceptionally well with minimal chip out, which will always be good when it comes time for sanding and finishing. Again, back when I picked up scrolling in early 2013 after my grandfather passed in late 2012, this was one of the first projects that I sat down and kind of batched out to make for a bunch of people, and I just made them out of 1/4 inch material that I picked up at the home center, and I just stained everything one uniform color. So when I was going through my magazines and seeing this one, it brought a smile to my face, and I knew I had to make it again. The actual nativity piece here we're cutting out, which is Jesus, Mary, and Joseph in the manger, is yellow pine, and that is a softer wood. And now we are going to a piece of mahogany that has the camel and the other person in it. And as you can see, I am using that same blade. And again, this project would not have been possible without my new Rikon table saw. You can see it sitting there behind me with the wheels on it, and that is just a phenomenal tool, and I cannot say enough nice things about it. If you guys like what you're seeing, I would highly encourage you to subscribe to my channel and also follow me across all my social medias under the Artisan Pirate name. I truly appreciate the support. And now we are doing the internal cut on the backer board here which is walnut. And because we are stack cutting, we are essentially cutting through 1/2 inch total of material for all the pieces here. And I did not break a blade or anything. I am just taking my time and letting the blade do the work. But this project really encapsulates the true meaning of the Christmas season, and that is the birth of Jesus Christ. So always happy to do a project like this to kick off Christmas projects over here on the channel. And we are now releasing all of the pieces here. And for the smaller piece of the angel here, I did drill a pilot hole, even though there's no internal cuts on it, just so the wood would be a little bit more stable and not have a cut line in it, if that makes any sense. But all in all, it took me around 30 minutes to scroll everything out from start to finish. And I did a pilot hole with the 3 wise men here out of mahogany, again, even though it does not actually have an internal cut. And some of these small cuts can be tedious, and it might be essential if you have a variable speed scroll saw like I have here, that you could speed it up or slow it down, but I am comfortable and confident on the machine to cut out these small pieces. But now that all of the pieces are cut, we will head over to the workbench and remove them from the waste wood, and I'll separate the 2 projects here. And again, we will finish one on camera, and the other one I will finish off camera in my leisure time. Now we will sand with 180 grit Klingspor sandpaper in the vibrating palm sander, and I'll use small circular motions, and I'll be very careful because some of these pieces are very fragile depending on which way you orient the grain. But after everything was sanded, it was time to begin assembly, and I'm using the picture in the magazine I have to go by and CA glue here with activator, and I've got a 2-inch thick piece of walnut there to help me keep everything flush when gluing it up. And you can go about this in several ways, and I like that with this project you could also mix and match how the layers are oriented to give it different looks. But after all the pieces are glued up, I'll set it aside and let it dry for 5 minutes before gluing it to the base. I always like to give the CA glue time to cure completely, and I'll again use the piece of walnut here to help support it while I glue it and keep it square. But after this again dried for around 5 minutes, it was time for a finished, and I used several coats of Rust-Oleum clear gloss, and it really made the natural colors of the wood pop. And after that dried, the project was complete. And here we have the completed miniature 3D nativity cut out completely on the scroll saw, and it finished up amazingly well. Thank you, Dick Smith, for an amazing pattern from a previous issue of Scroll Saw Woodworking and Crafts magazine by Fox Chapel Publishing. I think the magazine is now unavailable, that current issue that this came out of, but the archival disc and CDs are still available, and I'll leave a link to where those can be picked up down in the description box below this video. But using the different wood species here really made everything look amazing. I did not have to dye nothing, I did not have to stain nothing. This is all the natural colors of the wood, and the clear coat that we added at the end really brought out the colors and the grain texture of all the variety of hard and soft woods we used in this project. The woods we used in this project were walnut, blue pine, ambrosia maple, yellow pine, mahogany, and oak for the base, and everything came out great. And I think a project like this is very versatile. You see here on the side view here that there is all 1/4 inch layers here, and I think you could mix and and match how they are layered here to create different and unique looks if you really wanted to batch these out for the Christmas season. And this project really and truly celebrates the true meaning of Christmas, and that's the birth of Jesus Christ. And there you see him with Mary and Joseph there in the center in the manger and everything. And the reason I call a project like this also versatile is, keep in mind we stack cut it, and I've still got another one set aside that I've still got to sand and finish off camera. I think you could take just the nativity part of it here, this is the other one we cut out when we made this one, and actually enlarge this and make this a yard display, you know, where you cut it out with a jigsaw and maybe put a backlight on it and everything. So there's always versatility and unique ways to use a scroll saw pattern, and that's why I love using them. But everything came out amazingly well. It took me around 30 minutes to scroll everything out. I used the same blade to scroll through all the material, and keep in mind stack cutting through 2 layers of 1/4 inch material meant we were in actuality scrolling through 1/2 inch material through the whole cutting process. And I just took my time and let the blade do the work, and it took around 30 minutes for me to scroll everything out, even though there is some tedious details. But as always, like I say, I just took my time with it and let the blade do the work. Once again, the project is from a very old issue of Scroll Saw Woodworking and Crafts magazine, Holiday 2005 issue 21, so way back in the archives of everything, and there it is. And then the article and pattern and everything starts on page 52, and I hope I've done this project justice in today's video. Again, back in the day, I just stained everything a uniform color, and I think all the natural colors of the wood here is really the route to go. And as I said, I don't think this magazine here is available, that current issue, but the archival CDs are, and I'll leave a link in the description box below the videos where they can be picked up and purchased. But this was a great project to go back down memory lane and remember when I picked scrolling back up in 2013 after my grandfather had passed in 2012. And it just shows the evolution of the style of woodworking that I've developed out here in the workshop. But I had a lot of fun in today's project, and I hope you guys like watching me make the project. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel and also follow me across all my social medias under the Artisan Pirate name. As always, links to contact me as well as all my social medias will always be linked down in the description box below these videos. That's about all for this one, and remember guys, if I can make it or do it, so can you. I'm the Artisan Pirate. Take care, and I'll see you guys real soon.